Welcome back to the deep dive. We're going deep into the AI news today.
Yeah, it's incredible how fast things are moving.
We've got articles and reports from all over.
We'll break down what it all means for you.
Let's jump right in. This article talks about businesses using AI for employee retention
Interesting. Right. They're using predictive analytics.
to keep people from quitting
Exactly. Like by analyzing engagement score.
and performance reviews.
Even things like communication patterns.
So it's like AI is a manager now
Kinda. It can spot the signs of someone who might leave.
before it's too late.
Right. And then companies can step in.
But isn't there a skills gap? We're talking about AI doing all this.
Absolutely. Another report highlights that,
Like people don't even know enough about AI to use it,
which makes it even more important to understand its potential.
even if you're not like a programmer or anything.
Right. It's going to impact everyone's job.
It's a lot to keep up with.
You've got to be adaptable and willing to learn.
Okay, enough about work. Let's talk about the tech giants.
Tencent just unveiled its new AI model.
Hunyuan Turbo S. Right, I saw that.
They say it's faster than DeepSeek's model.
It's crazy how competitive this is
I
getting.
think everyone wants to be the leader in AI.
Speaking of competition, Amazon's not sitting still.
Nope. Alexa Plus is a major upgrade.
It can do so much more than just play music now.
Think of it as a proactive assistant.
Booking appointments, arranging repairs.
It can even browse the web for you.
A lot of people might be hesitant about giving an AI that much control.
For sure. These are powerful capabilities.
It makes you think about where we're headed.
As AI gets more advanced, we have to ask ourselves,
How comfortable are we with this?
exactly,
Yeah.
what level of trust are we willing to give these systems?
Now, for something completely different, AI is helping scientists too.
Researchers used AI to analyze millions of Twitter bios
What for?
to study career identity. It can tell us which jobs are gaining popularity.
And which ones are becoming less prestigious.
Fascinating insights into how society views work.
But this next one is mind-blowing.
The AI that solved the superbug mystery.
In just 2 days, researchers had been stuck for years
The AI confirmed their hypothesis and came up with more possibilities.
that they hadn't even thought of.
It's incredible how AI can accelerate scientific breakthroughs.
Definitely changes my view of what's possible.
This is just the beginning, I think.
Okay, let's talk about the internet itself.
A lot of people are worried about AI hallucinations.
You mean AI making stuff up?
Yeah, which is why companies like MongoDB are stepping in.
Their acquisition of Voyage AI is interesting.
It's all about making AI applications more trustworthy.
So we can rely on the information they produce.
Accuracy is going to be crucial as we rely more on AI,
Meanwhile, Apple is investing a ton of money in the US.
including a new AI server factory.
They're really doubling down on AI,
It's a strategic move to strengthen their capabilities.
and probably a response to the global competition too.
Speaking of which, Chinese universities are now integrating DeepSeek AI into their curriculum.
Wow, so they're training a whole new generation of AI experts.
It's a clear signal that they want to be a leader in this field.
It seems like everyone is trying to get ahead in the AI race.
The stakes are high. This technology is going to shape the future.
Now for something a little more theoretical.
Have you heard of the dead internet theory?
I've seen it mentioned online. What is it exactly?
It's the idea that most online content is becoming AI generated.
And that's a bad thing.
It could lead to a less authentic internet experience.
Like we're just scrolling through endless AI-generated stuff.
Right. And losing that human connection.
Makes you think.
We'll definitely be exploring this more.
It's a lot to unpack.
And we're just getting started. You know, one thing that's been making headlines?
GPT 4.5.
Yeah. OpenAI's latest model.
They're really keeping it under wraps though, right?
It's only available through their premium service for now.
Which means you got to pay up if you want to try it.
Exactly. It raises questions about access and the economics of AI.
Like a divide between those who can afford the latest AI and those who can't.
And as these models get more complex, the cost could be a real barrier.
Meanwhile, Amazon's going in a different direction.
With Alexa Plus Go.
Yeah, they want to bring advanced AI to everyone.
It's a big bet on mass adoption.
But are people really ready for an AI that can do so much?
It's a valid question. There are concerns about privacy and control.
What if it goes wrong?
Amazon needs to build in safeguards and be transparent about how it works.
To earn people's trust.
Absolutely. Trust is key when you're talking about AI managing your life.
Okay, let's get back to the science side of things.
That superbug story was amazing.
It really shows how AI can change the game for researchers.
Not just speeding things up, but also coming up with new ideas.
Things humans might never have considered.
It makes you wonder what other mysteries AI could help us solve.
Right, like what else is out there that we're missing?
The possibilities are endless.
And a little bit scary, too.
True, but mostly exciting.
Okay, so we were talking about the dead internet theory earlier,
This idea that AI is taking over online content
which could make it harder to find real human interaction.
and to trust the information we see.
How do we even know what's real anymore?
It's a tough question, and it's one we need to be thinking about.
So what can we do?
Well, for one, we need to be more critical of what we see online.
Don't just believe everything you read.
Exactly. Do your own research. Look for multiple sources.
And be aware of the potential for AI to manipulate information.
That's why companies like MongoDB are so important.
Making sure that AI is used responsibly.
Their acquisition of Voyage AI is a step in the right direction,
It's about building trust in these systems.
so we can feel confident about the information they're giving us.
And speaking of trust, Apple's making a big move too.
With their investment in U.S. infrastructure,
It's a clear sign they're taking AI seriously.
and that they want to have more control over their technology,
It's also a statement about the global AI race.
which China is definitely a part of.
Integrating DeepSeek AI into their universities is a bold move.
They're investing in the future of AI.
And training the next generation of experts.
It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
The AI landscape is changing so fast,
It's hard to keep up sometimes.
but that's why we're here.
To help you make sense of it all,
Let's take a closer look at some of the ethical challenges of AI.
one of the biggest concerns is bias
Right, like AI algorithms can perpetuate existing biases in society,
and lead to unfair outcomes,
especially in things like hiring or loan application.
even criminal justice.
It's a serious problem.
Because AI models are trained on data that reflects our world.
So if the data is biased, the AI will be biased too.
Exactly. We need to be very careful about the data we use to train these models.
And we need to make sure that humans are involved in the process.
Oversight is crucial. We can't just let AI run wild.
Privacy is another big concern.
With all this data being collected.
AI knows so much about us.
And that raises questions about how that data is being used.
We need strong regulations to protect our privacy.
And to give us control over our own information.
And then there's the question of jobs,
AI is already automating tasks that humans used to do.
which is great for efficiency, but not so great for workers.
There's a lot of fear about AI taking over jobs.
Are we all going to be replaced by robots?
Not necessarily. I think it's more about adaptation
Like learning new skills that are in demand.
and working alongside AI.
That's a new way of thinking about work.
And it's a challenge we need to be prepared for.
Speaking of challenges, let's talk about the geopolitical implications of AI.
It's become a major area of competition between countries.
Like the US and China.
They're both investing heavily in AI research and development,
It's almost like an arms race,
with each country trying to gain an advantage.
which could lead to tension and even conflict.
We need to find ways to cooperate on AI.
And make sure it's used for good.
International collaboration is essential.
Especially when you consider the potential risks. AI can be used for good or for bad.
It all depends on how we choose to use it.
So let's talk about social media.
AI is already playing a huge role there.
Algorithms decide what we see in our news feeds.
And what ads were shown,
It's all very personalized
which can be helpful, but also dangerous,
because it can create filter bubbles.
and expose us to misinformation.
We need to be aware of how AI is being used to manipulate us.
And we need to be critical thinkers.
Don't just believe everything you see online.
Do your own research and fact-checking.
And be wary of deep fakes and other forms of AI-generated content.
It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real.
Which brings us back to the dead internet theory.
This idea that we're losing touch with authentic human interaction online.
And that AI is creating a less engaging experience.
It's a scary thought,
But there are things we can do.
like being more intentional about our online interactions.
Seek out real connections.
Support creators who prioritize authenticity.
And advocate for tools that can help us discern between AI-generated and human-created content.
We can fight back against the dead internet.
And reclaim the human element online.
Now let's get philosophical for a minute.
Okay, I'm ready.
What does AI say about the nature of intelligence?
And consciousness.
These are big questions.
Are we just machines?
Can machines become conscious?
Is there something special about human intelligence?
These are questions we'll be grappling with for a long time.
As AI continues to evolve,
We need to be having these conversations.
so the implications are huge.
AI is going to change everything.
So let's make sure we're prepared.
The future that's coming.
Now let's talk about education.
AI is already being used in classrooms.
in a lot of different ways.
Personalized tutoring systems.
AI-powered assessments.
Even creating entire courses.
It's changing how students learn.
But there are concerns too.
Like dehumanizing the learning process.
And widening the gap between rich and poor.
We need to make sure AI is used ethically in education.
So it benefits all students.
And doesn't create new inequalities.
Now let's talk about healthcare.
Another field where AI is making a big impact.
AI can help diagnose diseases.
Develop new treatments.
Even assist with surgery.
It's amazing what's possible.
But we need to be careful.
About privacy and bias.
And the dehumanizing potential of AI.
We need to keep the patient at the center of healthcare.
Now let's talk about art and creativity.
Can AI be creative?
That's a question a lot of people are asking.
AI can create music, even write novels.
It's blurring the lines between human and machine creativity.
It's fascinating and a little bit unsettling.
But it's also pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Expanding our definition of art.
Now let's talk about the environment.
AI can play a role in fighting climate change.
Monitoring deforestation.
Tracking pollution.
Optimizing energy consumption.
It can be a powerful tool for sustainability.
But we also need to consider the environmental impact of AI itself.
Like the energy it takes to train these massive models.
We need to make sure AI is sustainable.
So it doesn't contribute to the problem it's trying to solve.
Now let's think about the future of AI.
It's hard to predict where it's all going.
But it's going to be transformative.
AI will touch every aspect of our lives.
From the mundane to the profound.
It's both exciting and scary.
We need to be prepared for the challenges ahead.
And make sure we're using AI for good.
The future of AI is up to us.
We need to be thoughtful and responsible.
And make sure it benefits all of humanity.
Now let's talk about the investment side of things.
AI is a hot area for investors.
Billions of dollars are pouring into AI startups.
And big tech companies are making major acquisitions.
Everyone wants a piece of the pie.
But it's important to be discerning.
Not all AI investments are created equal.
Some are more ethical than others.
We need to make sure AI is being developed responsibly.
And that the benefits are shared widely.
So what's the role of government in all of this?
Governments around the world are grappling with AI.
Trying to figure out how to regulate it.
And how to promote innovation.
It's a delicate balance.
We need policies that protect people.
But also allow for progress.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
AI is a big topic.
With a lot of different facets.
It's transforming our world.
And raising some big questions. It's exciting and scary all at the same time.
The future of AI is uncertain.
But it's up to us to shape it.
We need to be thoughtful and responsible.
And make sure AI is used for good. We've talked about the big companies like Tencent and Amazon, but what about the smaller guys?
The startups.
Yeah, are they doing anything interesting?
Oh, tons of stuff. It's a really exciting scene.
Like what?
Well, you've got companies working on AI for healthcare,
Makes sense.
finance, education, even entertainment.
So many different applications.
It seems like every day there's a new AI startup popping up.
How do you even keep track of them all?
It's tough. But one trend I'm seeing is the rise of AI platforms.
Platforms.
Yeah, like tools that make it easier for other companies to build their own AI.
So you don't have to be a tech giant to get in on the action.
Exactly. It's democratizing AI.
I like that.
It means more people can experiment with AI and find new uses for it.
That's cool. So what are some of these startups actually doing?
Well, there's this company that's using AI to personalize medicine.
Wow.
And another one that's using AI to detect fraud.
Makes sense.
And there's even a company that's using AI to write novels.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
So the possibilities are endless.
Pretty much AI can be applied to almost anything.
It sounds like a great time to be an AI entrepreneur.
It is.
Mhm.
But it's not without its challenges.
Like what?
Well, funding is always an issue for startups.
Right.
And then there's the competition for talent.
Everyone wants to hire the best AI experts.
Exactly. It can be tough to attract and keep good people.
So you need a good idea, a good team, and a bit of luck.
That's the recipe for any successful startup.
We've talked a lot about the positive side of AI, but we have to acknowledge the risks too,
Of course.
like job displacement.
Bias, privacy. Even the potential for AI to be used for harm.
It's a powerful technology and it needs to be handled responsibly.
Absolutely.
So what can we do to make sure AI is used for good?
Well, there are a lot of people working on that.
Like organizations like the Partnership on AI.
What do they do?
They bring together researchers, companies, and policymakers to develop ethical guidelines for AI.
Sounds like a good idea.
And governments are starting to regulate AI too.
To make sure it's used safely and fairly.
It's a work in progress, but it's moving in the right direction.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Nope. I'm actually optimistic about the future of AI.
Me too. I think it has the potential to make the world a better place.
As long as we use it wisely.
And remember that it's a tool.
Not a solution in itself.
We need to be in control.
And make sure it's serving humanity.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything.
We've gone deep today.
From the workplace to the internet to the future of humanity.
AI is everywhere.
And it's only going to become more important.
So stay informed, stay engaged, and stay curious.
That's great advice. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
It's been a pleasure.